Hi guys, Scary here, and I was able to get into the Warlords of Draenor beta via the East invite. So I decided that I'd go ahead and take a look first at the Fire Mage. I started on Boomkin actually, but I wanted to go ahead and try because the Boomkin was getting locked trying to get into the Tanaan Jungle. So I started with the Fire Mage, and first off, what I must say is the ability pruning is definitely a real thing. They really toned right out those abilities. As you can see on my bars, it reduced the amount of abilities I have by a ton. And there's a couple times where you're facing enemies, you're doing things, and you don't even know what to push. You're like, I don't know what to do. So um, first off, I want to talk about living bomb or even any type of dot. Right now, as you probably are aware, in the talent tree where the bombs were, they are now replaced with three different ones. One is the universal bomb that changes depending on your spec, and the other one, unstable magic, I believe it is, has like a 30% chance every time you do damage to spread that damage over the enemies, percent of it. And I found that to be the most useful. But the point I want to make about living bomb is that it's awkward when you're fighting enemies or you're trying to tag mobs and you're trying to tag them before other people, or just starting on a mob. You're so used to the starting with a bomb, and it took a little while for me to get used to it. And you'll probably see a couple clips here where I actually would hit combustion because I moved combustion number 2 where my bombs were, and so I would combust at the beginning. Well, it doesn't do anything for you anymore because it doesn't stun, so it just does nothing but goes on cooldown. So that was a part I had with, and I tried actually changing out to Living Bomb and actually trying out Blast Waves, another one on that line there, but I just wasn't really liking it, and I found that um, Unstable Magic was so strong right now that it was just a better option, especially when you're pulling multiple mobs. Unstable Magic seemed to really help a lot. So actually through this experience here, Fire Mages are doing a lot of good damage. They're doing um, decent damage, and also the Scorch, the mobility. You don't realize how much we are, or how lucky we are to have a movement ability compared to other classes, because not very many have them anymore because they lost them. And I found Scorch to be so nice and so universal. Um, anyway, so there's one bad thing about Scorch though is that it doesn't, of course, do a lot of damage. But I found though that if you just spam Scorch on the mobs, I had a lot more Pyroblast that way, the hot streak procs. Uh, Maybe that's because you're getting more cast off, so your chances feel a little higher, or you feel like you're getting more. But and also it only takes a couple fireballs to burn down a mob. So um, the a couple times here, and you'll see later in the video, I'll let it go on for a while because I did the whole Tanaan experience, which took me about an hour. A couple times I actually ended up running out of, I mean, I would get like 3 or 4 mobs on me, and I wouldn't have Dragon's Breath or Frost Nova or anything to cast. I just had to stand there and take damage until something came off cooldown, or I just had to stand there and cast because I had no option because I just ran out of stuff to hit. So it felt kind of awkward in that way, but I feel like over time that'll become kind of, used to what you'll have. And actually, you'll see there on the models in that zone right now, I feel it's probably not complete. It's really untextured right now, and um, overall, the Tanaan experience though is really good. I only had about 2 issues with it. One issue I kind of had was there's a part here where I actually get a little further, and I get into the world server ends up going down, or I crash myself, and I end up having to restart this whole area, which took me another 10 additional minutes. So it's probably only a 40-minute area in time, and it's not really um, a long experience. But I will say that it kind of got a little boring. um, they still have just the regular questing areas with the, kill this many people, burn this many things, pick up this many things. I'm not really sure if there's a way to change it though. I mean, by now, I feel they probably would have figured it out, and it seems like no other games really figured it out either. But it got really kind of boring after a little while of just and I can't imagine 10 levels now. What's gonna feel like just to quest and have to do that. So it'd be kind of cool to mix things up a little bit. And at the end of the Tanaan experience, you actually get to. A side note here, actually, I pulled a couple of these guys, and it's really cool to kind of see the damage of the combust spread on a bunch of different mobs and how strong it is now. And so, anyway, at the end of the Tanaan experience, you actually get to take control of one of the big demolishers, World Destroyer, and that's pretty cool to experience because it's a little different than just killing a bunch of mobs. But see how spread combust here, and it's kind of cool. And a couple times I would completely hit the wrong ability. I'm not used to having my keybinds set up this way and so few of them, and not knowing what to hit half the time, and so it was a couple times where I really screwed up and wasn't sure what to do. And here's one of them where I kind of I'm starting to run out of things to do, and you just kind of go to spamming your abilities. So overall, I think the Fire Mage is going to do real well. I have no bones to pick. The major thing was that living bomb missing is such a different experience, or that bomb tier missing. So getting used to not being able to start off with a bomb or something like that is a little awkward, but I think over time it'll come to a good benefit. And to be honest, I'd much rather have the Scorch cast while moving than a start off dot or something. And when I did try Living Bomb, I didn't find it to be very effective or as good as Unstable Magic. So I'm trying to think if there's any other points I wanted to make here. And coming up here, I mentioned that I had a couple problems in the Tanaan Jungle. It was just minor little bugs. One was there's a quest here where you have to get 3 blood orbs, and it ended up taking me in a group there. We stood around this area waiting on this 3rd orb to spawn, and ended up being on top of a building. So little things like that I feel like they could hint at, because had it not been for other people who have already been to the zone coming up and saying, hey, it's up there, we probably would have been there forever waiting on trying to figure out how to get the 3rd orb to spawn. And the last one was, and that'll be later in the video here, there's a problem with one of the quest displays that a mob is in a certain area and it ends up not being there. But luckily there's a lot of helpful people on the beta right now, and there's still some problems, but those people are spamming in chat or saying, hey, if you're having problems with this quest, try doing this, and that's how it works. So overall, good experience. Fire Mage is going to do real well. I have no real big bones to pick. Major problems were just feels different with the loss of a bomb, and kind of sometimes some downtime, but overall great experience. Thank you guys for checking out the video.
guides us.
Thank you to guys who stayed till the very end of the video. I appreciate it. If you don't mind, leave a comment below down. Kind of let me know how I can improve my videos, my gameplay and stuff. I want to, those who can't get into beta right now, I kind of want to give them a way to see what they want to see. So if you want to see something specific, go ahead and leave it down below, and I'll try my best to get either a class done, or some glyph, whatever you want to say, glyphs, talents, some PvP with it, whatever. Let me know down below, and I'll try to help my best to show you guys what you'd like to see. So thank you.